Hey, what's up guys? Josh from TheBitBlock.com here to once again talk with you about that little Super Smash Bros. Game that you might have heard of that is coming to the Wii U. Today we're going to be talking about the current stages that we know of. There's a total of about 12 of them, I believe. So there's a lot to talk about. Let's start doing that. So first up, we are going to talk about the Battlefield stage. This is a stage that has been in, I think, pretty much every Smash Bros. Game so far, and it is kind of the good stage to start with right when you get Smash Bros. It is kind of basic. There's just a few floating platforms, but just like I said about the 3DS game, it's very pretty, and it's even more pretty here on Wii U. And again, the cool thing about this particular stage is that as you keep fighting, the time of day will change, and so I personally love defeating the crap out of my friends while the beautiful, pretty sunset is occurring behind me. So yeah, Battlefield is just a pretty great all-around stage. And then there's also the boxing ring, which is kind of an interesting stage because from what we know so far, apparently there are two versions of this stage. There's one that is called the Super Smash Bros. Boxing ring, and then there's another one that is the boxing ring for Punch-Out! And the main difference is just a little symbol on the actual mat. I don't know. I really don't get the point of that. I'd imagine it's just like if you hold a button, you can switch to what version you're going to play in, but it really doesn't seem to make any difference. I think it would just make sense to just make it the Punch-Out! Boxing ring. But oh well, it's a boxing ring, it looks pretty cool. I love the fact that you can jump on the ropes on the side, and they kind of spring you upward, and you can get a bigger bounce from them. That's kind of cool. I like it. It's pretty cinematic. It looks like it's going to be pretty crazy. And then there is the very ominous Dr. Wily castle from the Mega Man series. This is obviously Mega Man's stage. It's pretty cool. I really like the textures in this one. They have like a nice airbrushed, clean quality to them. And also, it looks like the devil, is it the yellow devil, is going to jump on the stage from the background and cause all sorts of mayhem. So I'm pretty sure he's a stage hazard and not like an assist trophy or anything like that. Very cool stage. The only problem I have with this one is it's very boring as far as the actual terrain goes. It's just like a flat surface. Then again, we haven't played on it yet, so maybe something happens to where it gets a little bit more interesting. But it is cool to see the castle, very spooky in the background there. As many of you might already know, I adore Pikmin 3. In fact, I would go as far as saying that Pikmin 3 is pretty much the only game on Wii U that I have played that I was blown away with and absolutely adore. My Wii U is basically just a Pikmin 3 machine. So as you can imagine, Garden of Hope is probably going to be one of my favorite stages in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. It looks very pretty. You've got a lot of Pikmin references going on in the background. It has a realistic vibe to it. So yeah, it's a stage based on something from Pikmin 3. That in and of itself makes it fantastic. We really don't know too much about the stage, and this is kind of the only decent screenshot that we have of it, but we do know that there is a Kid Icarus-based stage in the Wii U version of Smash Bros. We have seen at least one of them in the 3DS game. Here on Wii U, it looks like it's actually daytime and up in the clouds, whereas the 3DS one is like in a dark castle during a war. But yeah, really not too much to say. It looks pretty. That's an angel. And yeah, I bet it's in the clouds. The Pyrosphere from Metroid Other M is one of those stages we've seen quite a bit throughout different screenshots of the day. It looks cool. I mean, I think this was probably the only neat section of Metroid Other M. To be honest with you, I, like most people, really didn't like Metroid Other M that much, especially compared to the Prime series. But if there has to be a stage based on that game, I think this is a pretty cool setting to do it in. And from what I can gather, we will probably see Ridley doing some nonsense in the background, which would be very cool. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is a pretty fantastic game with a beautiful art style and really amazing controls, so I'm very happy to see that Skyloft is a stage in Super Smash Bros. On Wii U. This is one of those cruise stages where a platform will actually drop you in certain locations, so yeah, I can't wait to see what locations we're actually going to be battling in. As many of you probably know, Skyloft is a pretty big island floating in the sky, so I'd imagine there's at least like 4 or 5 different settings that you'll be able to duke it out in, so yeah, I like it. It looks pretty. I can't wait to play in it. So it's kind of interesting because, as many of you know, I adore Animal Crossing, but Smashville on Wii U, I believe that's what it would be called, because that's what the Brawl version is not that exciting. The Animal Crossing stage in the Wii U game looks pretty much the same as it was in Brawl, except this time, I guess sometimes you will have the city in the background. And anybody who's played City Folk will probably agree the city was pretty disappointing, so I'm not that thrilled to see the city in the background, but I don't know, it's an Animal Crossing stage, so it can't really be that bad, but yeah, kind of wish it was more exciting. Oh, now the Super Mario Galaxy Arena looks like it's going to be pretty darn incredible. This one I'm excited about. This stage looks like it plays around with gravity a little bit, so if you're like all the way on the side to the right or the left, when you jump up, you would jump up at an angle as opposed to jumping straight up. So I think this one could be pretty darn neat. And you got a lot of very pretty things going on in the background, like Starship Mario and other different planets and Bowser's airships. So yeah, I can't wait to play this one. I'm actually a pretty big fan of the Wii Fit series. I think it's very fun, and it's unique to have a video game where you get to work out and have fun at the same time. So I like the fact that it is represented in Smash Brothers. This stage seems pretty simple, but it does look like you'll have some balance board related platforms. And I think what's really cool about this is that it takes place where you would do yoga and strength training in the game, so you have kind of a mirrored effect on the back wall, and I think it would be pretty neat to see all the players mirrored. I don't know, for some reason I have a feeling that's going to be a neat effect that nobody really anticipates until they actually play it. Yeah, so me and Sonic don't exactly see eye to eye. I'm not his biggest fan, and the reason we don't see eye to eye is because I have two eyes, and for some reason he only has one giant weird eye. But Windy Hill from Sonic Lost Worlds is in this game. It's, you know what, I'll give it credit though, it is kind of pretty, but that game is not that great. So just to see a not great character and a not great game represented in Smash Brothers kind of rubs me the wrong way. But to be honest with you, I could love this stage. I mean, I think it's very colorful, it looks neat, and it could be really fun to play in. But yeah, me and Sonic are not exactly buds. And then finally, this is my favorite stage in the Wii U version of Super Smash Bros. It's basically Woohoo Island. You fly around on airplanes as they take you around Woohoo Island. It is based in a very tropical setting, obviously. You know, this one is kind of also based on Pilot Wings, but not really. I look at this as just being the Wii Sports Resort stage. But yeah, I mean, I think when Smash Brothers is at its best, it's when you're duking it out in a very unsuspecting arena. And on top of planes, as they fly around through the sky, do tricks, and soar through Woohoo Island's locations, yeah, that in and of itself is an epic, amazing stage. I cannot wait to play this one. Alright guys, well thanks for checking out all the stages that we currently know in the Wii U version of Smash Brothers with me here today. If you have any favorites yourself, be sure to leave a comment below. And also, if you have any idea for cool stages that could be in the game, leave a comment below for that as well. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for watching this video from TheBitBlock. If you want to stay up to date on tons of exclusive Nintendo content, be sure to subscribe by clicking here. And if you don't want the fun to end, you can check out more Nintendo coverage by clicking over here.